What's going on, guys? Drew here, back at it with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to source as a beginner on eBay. Just kind of showing you guys the ropes. Let's get into it. The way I recommend every new eBay seller to start out selling is start by selling stuff in your home. There's plenty of stuff in the house. You definitely have some items just sitting around that you don't want anymore. And instead of bringing them to Goodwill, maybe spend some time to look them up and list them on eBay. It's free practice. You're gonna get some free game from it. You're gonna figure out how to look up the item. You're gonna figure out how to list the item. You're gonna figure out how to ship the item. And you've spent zero money on inventory. It's a good way to get some capital to start selling, and it's a good way to practice the process of looking up, shipping, all that stuff. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Now you've looked around your house. You found some items that you want to sell. Let's say I found two items that I wanted to sell. I wanted to sell this Topps rookie card of Freddie Freeman. It's a PSA 9. Say I bought this and maybe I'm not interested in holding on to it anymore. Maybe I'm getting out of card collecting or something like that. And then this is another example, me sharing with you guys just a random item. Say I found this at Goodwill. I like the look of it. It's been sitting in my china cabinet, but now I want to sell it. So some items are going to be way easier to look up than others. Like this PSA 9 Freddie Freeman rookie card is going to be easy to look up. I have plenty of information to find out what this is, what the price of this is. But something like this, you might have no idea what this is. So, and I had no idea what this was when I found it. So I'm going to show you guys the process of looking up items that you have no idea what they are. And it's really simple. All you got to do is open up Google, and there's a thing called Google Lens. And we're going to find some keywords for this item so we can look it up. So I just pulled out my Google Lens. I'm going to take a picture of this right now. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me a bunch of information. It's going to give me some similar items. So I actually see my listing right here. It's a vintage Japanese ceramic toothbrush stand, and there's plenty of good keywords you can find from these Google lenses to look up on eBay if you have no idea what the items are. So it's really good for clothing because there's maybe some keywords you're missing out on. If you're trying to look up a certain brand or something like that, this is just a really good tool to have, and it's free. So just download Google, download eBay. Those are the two apps you need. It's really simple. And so we're gonna go over to eBay now. We're gonna show you guys how to price check these items. All right, so for the part of the video where I'm gonna be showing you guys how to look up the items on eBay, I'm gonna be using the Freddie Freeman as an example. It's a Freddie Freeman PSA 9 rookie card. And one mistake I see a lot of people make when they are starting out selling on eBay is they're going to use the listings that they see on eBay to get an idea of the price. Now sometimes people can price stuff way too high for what it actually sells for, and I see that way too much where people list their stuff too high because they're using what other people's listings are to justify the price. But that's not how you do that. So I could list this for $1 million. It does not mean it's going to sell for $1 million. I'm going to show you guys how to look up what people have been willing to pay for this item. So you're going to click the filter button. You're going to click the show more section, and you're going to scroll down until you see the sold items. You're going to turn that on, click away, and you're going to see what people have been willing to pay for the same exact item. It looks like people are willing to pay between $40 and $50 for this item. So now we have a good price range to list this item at. It's between 40 and 50 bucks. Some people might list this for 90 bucks. It is not worth 90 bucks. It is worth between 40 and $50. And that is how you look it up on eBay. So now you have some practice under your belt. You've sold some items on eBay from your house. You've sold some cards. You sold some clothes. You sold maybe a pair of your shoes. You've kind of tested out what you like to sell. And what I recommend from here before you go out and start sourcing is I recommend finding a specific niche that you like to sell in. Some people like to sell collectibles, some people like to sell clothes. Maybe you're a shoe guy and you know a lot about shoes, so maybe that's the avenue you want to take. But the way I would start is find the niche and stick with it. Don't expand too wide. What I see a lot of people do is they will kind of do everything to start out, and when you start too wide, it's very overwhelming. Let's say you go into Goodwill, you walk in there and you're ready to resell everything in the store. It can be very overwhelming. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to look through. And it's just kind of like some people just kind of get lost in it, you know. Say you want to specialize in jeans. It's not going to be overwhelming for you because there's just a couple racks to go through, and you can really spend some time learning about those items. And you can use the processes I showed you guys where you can scan them on Google. You can figure out what the item is. You can figure out maybe the keywords, and you can look it up on eBay and see what they're going for. So that's the process you're going to be using when you go out to start sourcing. Highly suggest you guys stick with a niche before branching out and getting into more items, because you don't want to get overwhelmed, you don't want to get discouraged because maybe some stuff isn't selling for you, or maybe you didn't look it up right. You want to get really good at a specific thing before you start branching out. The other benefit to being in a specific niche is you're going to save money on shipping supplies, because if you go too wide, you're going to be buying a bunch of different shipping supplies, different shapes and sizes. Where say if you specialize in jeans to start out with, all you're going to need is a poly bag. So you're just going to get a 100 count of poly bags, and you're going to be good for 100 items. So yeah, I guess that's the reason why I stick with a specific niche and kind of branch out later on in your eBay journey. So now we've started at the house, we've learned how to look up the items, and we found the niche that we want to start in. Now we're going to go out and actually start sourcing finally. Now where would you source at? This is the list right here. I would do thrift stores, garage sales, discount stores, online marketplaces, and online auctions. Those are the 5 best ways I think to start out with. They're the lowest barrier to entry, and I guess my favorite out of all these would have to be the Goodwill bins. It's a place where you buy by the pound. So say you get a cart, you fill it up, you have 40 pounds worth of stuff. Maybe that Goodwill charges $1.50 per pound, and you were able to go in there and hand pick all that stuff. It's my favorite way to source. It's the cheapest way, but garage sales is another really cheap way. Discount stores a little more expensive, but you can find some really good deals, some really good margins in there. Online auctions and marketplaces, you can stay at home and source from the house. I mean, honestly, the possibilities are endless once you kind of get a gauge on how to go about sourcing. And now you have the tools at your disposal. You know how to look them up, and you can find some deals anywhere. So when I was starting out, I was looking up literally everything at the store. And I mean, I'd be out at the grocery store and I would walk past the clearance section, I would find something, and I found like this bear clock that was on clearance for 75% off. And I looked up what they were selling for on eBay. They were selling for like 80 bucks, and I could buy them for 20. After shipping and everything, I was making like 40 bucks each. And I was just obsessed with that at the time. And that right there is how you start sourcing. Start at the house, figure out a process to look this stuff up, find your niche, and then I shared with you guys some places you guys can start sourcing. So that's pretty much it. That's the first guide I have for you guys. The next one I'm gonna be showing you guys how to list, and then I'm gonna follow that up with a shipping video. It's gonna be a little 3-part series sharing with you guys the key parts I think you need to learn before starting to sell on eBay. You need to learn how to source, you need to learn how to list items, and you need to learn how to ship. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you guys did, hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate all the support in my last video. I've never really shared my eBay stuff on this channel, and I'm really excited by the feedback that I got. So I'm excited to share with you guys some tutorial videos, and after that I'm going to share with you guys just kind of my journey. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.